Hello, today's lesson is 14-1. It's called Covering Regions. It's our first lesson in our new unit about area. You have learned how to measure perimeter, or the number of units around a shape. Today you'll learn how to measure the number of square units needed to cover a shape. When might you need to find the number of square units to cover a shape in real life? This person's putting tile down on their floor and they needed to know how to find the area of the floor so they knew how many square tiles they would need. Students talked about needing to know how to find area to order wallpaper or ceiling tiles or carpet as well. Area is the number of square units needed to cover a region. The number of square units inside a shape is the area of the shape. So for example, the rectangle I put at the bottom of the screen here, it says that it's 5 centimeters across and 3 centimeters up and down. 5 times 3 is 15. The area is 15. Look at the rectangle on your grid paper. How can we measure the area of this rectangle? Students saw a rectangle similar to what we had seen in this previous screen, and they counted the squares inside to measure the area. Then I asked them, is this an exact answer or an estimate? They knew it was an exact answer because the rectangle was drawn right on the grid paper on the lines. There were no half squares covered or not covered. There was also a circle on the grid paper, and I asked the students how we could measure the circle. Now the circle is a little different. Some of the squares are half covered up by the circle and half not covered up. So we really had to estimate and consider those that were partially covered up as half a unit each. It was an estimate, not an exact answer, when we found the area of a circle because we were just kind of guessing about how many covered halfway. So if we have the answer exact, it's because we have the squares exactly on the lines. If we have something curved or something that's not exactly on the line, it's an estimate. Here's a couple more to practice with on your own. Pause the video if you need to count inside these boxes. So you counted inside the boxes and you also answered if it was exact or estimate. Here's the teacher's book answers now. Number 1 has exactly 20 square units. They're all right on the line. But number 2 is different. Notice how the lines on the sides are marked halfway between the lines? That means we have to estimate. So it's about 8 square units, but that's an estimate. We looked at the problems we were going to solve today. It was a lot more of this kind of practice. We tried a tricky problem, and this is tricky because of the question, the way it's worded, so read it carefully and then figure it out yourself. Many students thought that they were supposed to count the area inside the circle, but if you read the question carefully, it says make an estimate of the shaded area of the green squares. So we really need to count those green squares. We estimated about 4. For the green. And that was it for today.